Hi, welcome to BCST 101 Media Literacy. I'm your instructor, Malcolm Cecil, and I wanted to make a little video today to show you how the course is organized and get us started in our work together this semester. So my background is I grew up in Canada. I moved to the Bay Area in 2002 to study at Berkeley. Before that, I worked for 10 years in the Canadian broadcasting industry. I worked for the CBC, which is the national broadcaster, in various outlets. I was always a freelancer. I came to the Bay Area, as I said, to go to Berkeley, and I started working at San Francisco State University very quickly in the BECA department, their broadcasting department. And I eventually discovered City College and fell in love with the program. And so I've been working here since 2008. I highly recommend it. So this class in media literacy is going to allow us a lot of time to discuss the meanings of what we're seeing, the social implications of various media messages, and we're going to talk about things that are pretty current, pretty important, propaganda, the way that commercial or political interests try to manipulate us through media, the prevalence of disinformation and how we can counter that, and how to behave responsibly online and make great media ourselves. At least we'll have a short project where we actually assume the role of a media creator as well. So there's some interesting things to be done this week. Right now, let me jump in and share my screen with you so that you can see what our course looks like online. So some of the features of our homepage, first up here, there's going to be any recent announcements that I make. So I'm going to make an announcement each week saying that the module has opened, giving you an idea of what the work is and what the topic of the week is. So look for those up there. Also on this side of the page, you're going to see a list of assignments that are due. So that's there to help you make sure you do all the work on time. This is a 100% online class. There are no face-to-face meetings. It is organized on a weekly basis, meaning that every week on a Monday morning, a new module opens. A module is what we call a week's worth of work and stuff, and I will be clicking over here to show you the modules very soon. So a module will open at 7 a.m. and it will be open all week until Sunday night at 11 p.m. when it will close. And you have that week to do all the reading and the assignments, discussion and quiz that are there each week. So the class runs basically from a Monday morning to a Sunday night. All right, and as I move further down the page, you can click on this button to lead you to the modules, which is how the course is organized. I'll show you that in a second. This button has a Q&A forum. So this is like a virtual water cooler where you can ask questions of myself or of other students. Looking further down here, you will see my contact information. Unfortunately, we don't have access to our wonderful labs and offices, so we're doing all of this remotely. You can book in to make an office hour appointment with me if you would like to do office hours. There's a time frame here, but you can also email me if those times don't work for you. Over here, we have the inbox function of Canvas. This is the email, the best email to reach me at now that the course has begun. So you just click on there and you get all the functions of a regular email. All right, so let's jump in and get started in the course. We could click over here on modules, or we could click here on start here, which is what I'm going to do. So now you know what we're talking about when we talk about modules, because each week of this 16-week course is organized into separate modules, and the dates when the module is open are up there. And the modules are not all open at once. They kind of open up, as I said, on a Monday morning. So each module will have an overview page where the structure is always the same. I tried to keep this really regular to help you out. So there'll be an overview, what we're doing this week. In week one, we're just getting familiar with Canvas and with each other. And so there's a few things to do just to make sure that you're familiar with quizzes and discussions. We give learning objectives. Each week there's also a to-do list, a list of the major things that you got to do. Now you can also find them out simply by stepping through each item in the module as well. Some little tips here as we get going. Just a reminder that to move through the modules, you can either go back out and see each item in the list, or you can click next and move through the modules that way. There's a schedule as well. And basically it says here, things open up on Monday, they close on Sunday at 11 p.m. And there are also midweek assignments that I'll tell you about, especially one, which is what I call a discussion group leader post. I'll get back to there in a second. So really the thing to think about is if the week that you are a discussion leader, you've got something due at 11 p.m. And everyone will be discussion leader once during the class. So I'll let you know about that assignment in just a sec when we get there. I'm moving on to the next page. So in terms of the writing assignments that we're going to be doing in the class, I also bring those up here. So the first thing we're going to be doing in the next couple of weeks, an information evaluation assignment. So I mentioned that one of our concerns in this day and age is disinformation on the internet or through other media. And so this gives us some tips about how to evaluate the source and the quality of information that we're getting so that we don't come to hasty conclusions about what we're reading or share something that is not actually true. We've seen some of the negative consequences of that. There's then a media criticism assignment where we will be criticizing a television show, a show of your choice, and you will be applying concepts and methods that we learn in the class to critique the show, both the way that it's made, the way that the story is told, and also the social implications of representation and of ideology in media. So we'll be looking at that. That is a 3 to 4 page essay. We're going to do a content analysis assignment where we look at a piece of media, and this is more of a quantitative thing. We actually look into it and count, the number of instances there are of particular events or stereotypes or things like that that are portrayed. And that allows us to be able to very objectively compare one media form against another. The last thing, media literacy public service posts. So this is where I said you'll become a creator, a responsible user of the media, as I ask you to create a public service announcement that promotes media literacy in a way that you think will be effective. Now there is one special type of assignment where it's really critical that you participate. And this has to do with the discussions and your one time a semester role as a discussion group leader. So by that, I mean once during the semester, you're going to lead the discussion, okay? And it's very important that you actually stay on top of that and perform that role, because everyone in your group is going to be waiting for you to lead the discussion. I will explain how that works right now. So once we get started in the first week, I am going to go into the class list and I'm going to split us up into smaller groups, because having up to 40 students, it makes it impossible to have a good discussion with so many people. So I split us into smaller groups of about 10 students. And then what we do is we're going to have a weekly discussion starting in, I think it's the 3rd week of the class. And I am going to assign one person from that group each week, a different person. So everyone in the group will take a turn at being the discussion leader. All right. And that will require a little extra work. So what we do is the module opens up on Monday and the discussion is open. The discussion group leader has been warned in advance, notified. There's a notification goes out, says, hey, you're the discussion group leader this week. And there's also a schedule. You'll be able to know this starting next week. And so between Monday and Wednesday at 11 p.m., I ask you to read over the prompt, the question of the week, and prepare a first post, which is very carefully prepared, of about 250 words, where you give your opinion and provide an example for everybody to discuss. So for instance, if we're talking about the impact of images in media, I would ask you, for instance, to, find a controversial image and think about how it might affect an audience and post it so that we can all see it, and finish your post asking everybody what they think, basically. Here's my opinion on it. Here's my example. Now, what do you guys think? And the deadline for that is always a Wednesday night at 11 o'clock. After that, everybody else can jump in, and from Thursday through Sunday at 11 p.m. when the discussion closes, everybody gets the chance to converse. You get 50 points for that, so it's a pretty big assignment. Here I have copied a great example, and this is not an outlier. A lot of people do really interesting work on this. And so this was, the topic of the week was music video. And, student chose the This Is America video, very famous video, does their analysis of it. That's about 250 words. They posted this video. And so there's also help documents to show you how to do that. And so that was William Holt, a true real student in this class who that was his discussion leader post. Okay, so that's an example of a very good one. And then I give you an example of a good reply, all right? And a good reply is a true reply to what William has read. The student who does a good reply has read this over, watched the video if they were not already familiar with it, and they actually reply to what William says. They're also totally free after giving their opinion on, whatever the discussion leader has pointed. You're free to add other stuff, of course, but where the replies can become mediocre or poor is, for instance, someone says, well, I've seen this video. It starts off like this. It's, I could describe it a little bit, and, there's no mention in here of what William said. There's no interaction or discussion. So that's why that's a poor, mediocre post, let's say. So you can check that out and see this, but this is, perhaps the most original and different part of this class. Is I really want to give the students a chance to, lead and to bring the latest things that they're interested in. And so for that reason, that's why I asked the discussion leaders to bring their stuff. And as I said, this is a one-time thing during the semester. You will be scheduled to lead the discussion. All right. So there is going to be, I just put a link here to that assignment, and the assignment has a different due date depending on who you are and when that is being assigned to you as a human being. So again, just wanted to wish you the best in this class. I'm going to be doing weekly videos, nowhere near as long as this one, but each week on a Monday, along with the rest of the module, you'll get a little video, which is sort of giving an update of what's happening in the class, and a presentation, a very brief presentation of what we'll be talking about during the week. So there'll be more announcements coming every week. And yeah, do stay in touch, and I hope you really enjoy the course. I had a lot of fun creating it, and I definitely enjoy each week, each semester as well, finding out what you're thinking about media. All right, have a good one.